Hi, I'm Joan Kang Shin. Welcome to Impact's Professional Development Program. These videos will help teachers improve their classroom practice and help their students to get the most out of Impact. This video is about best practices for teaching young teens. Young teens are going through a number of changes, physically, socially, and cognitively. For them, life can be both exciting and confusing. They're engaged in discovering who they are and who they want to be. They're also exploring the qualities that make them unique, as well as those qualities they share with their peers.
Teaching young teens is challenging, but also very rewarding. It needs a lot of preparation. You need to have a very well-organized lesson plan, full of interesting activities to keep them going in the classroom.
It's quite challenging, but it's also very interesting. You should have ready material, but you should also be able to adapt because they're teenagers, so they need to be motivated.
Remember that young teens are actually very efficient language learners. They still have some characteristics of young learners and retain their childlike playfulness. But they also have the adult-like ability to hypothesize and think critically. Teenagers learn well when presented language through content, but they are also cognitively capable of understanding grammar abstractly. With this in mind, Impact has been designed to address the key characteristics of young teens and provide teachers with the materials they need to deliver effective lessons that promote language learning. In addition to good materials, teachers should also understand the developmental needs of their young teenage learners and deliver activities that cater to these needs while teaching English. Here are some tips that will help any teacher of young teens find success in the English language classroom. Young teens are undergoing physical changes that often leave them feeling sensitive about their appearance. They are also emotional beings who can become confused and even melodramatic about their identity and personal issues. Students at this age are often influenced by their peers as they try to figure out who they are and where they belong. Here are some ways to make your classroom a safe space for young teens to learn English and express themselves. First, never criticize their appearance. Young teens are sensitive, particularly about their physical appearance. So don't even make lighthearted jokes or tease them fondly about what they are wearing or their latest hairstyle. You might embarrass them and even encourage other students to make fun of them. Second, avoid correcting individuals in front of the whole class. Give feedback privately and with sensitivity, or provide corrective feedback as a whole class anonymously. For example, if you notice an error in pronunciation, point it out as a whole class, like this. During the discussion, I noticed many of you mispronouncing the word humanitarian. Put the stress on humanitarian. Repeat after me, humanitarian. This provides a quick way to provide error correction that is anonymous and even promotes oral practice for the whole class. Some teachers like to write common mistakes on the board and have the class figure out how to correct them. It's another way to do error correction without embarrassing individual students. Third, set rules for bullying or teasing with your students at the beginning of your class. You want to make sure every student feels your classroom is a safe space to learn and express him or herself. You might want to use the native language to come up with the rules, but then be sure to write them up on a poster in English. Here are a few simple ways to build students' confidence and self-esteem in your classroom. First, respect their point of view. Young teens are seeking validation for their lived experiences and ideas. Respecting their point of view can be as simple as showing genuine interest in their lives and remembering their stories. It means allowing them to have their own opinions, even if you don't agree or feel strongly they are wrong. A good tip is to refrain from expressing your own opinion and instead say, "That is an interesting opinion. Why do you think that?" Take any chance to encourage communication in English while building their skill and confidence to explore issues critically. Second, empower them with choice. Providing choice activities throughout the program will encourage your students' growing sense of independence. Choice activities can also provide opportunities for them to utilize their special talents in class. If they are musical or have artistic talents, there are options that encourage self-expression and creativity. Third, praise their accomplishments. And remember to be specific about exactly what they accomplished. World-renowned Stanford University psychologist Carol Dweck suggests that teaching our children growth mindsets by encouraging dedication and hard work is more effective than simply praising their intelligence or talents. Don't just say, "Good job, you are so smart." This is not productive praise. Instead, use phrases like, "That's a great job. You must have worked really hard." Be sure to explain exactly what they accomplished successfully to bolster their self-esteem and encourage more hard work. If a student says, "I can't do that," respond, "Yet." This approach has been shown to have a positive effect on motivation and determination. Sometimes you may want to express praise in the student's native language. More English learning will take place if you are successful in building students' confidence and self-esteem. So use the native language when needed to properly praise your young teens with specific details about their accomplishments. Young teens are actively exploring their own identities and grappling with big ideas daily. Gordon Lewis, author of Teenagers, describes young teens as abstract thinkers who are starting to develop their own worldview. This is the perfect time to introduce complex topics related to differences in culture, moral dilemmas, social justice, and ethical behavior. In Impact, students learn English while discussing issues such as animal conservation, food waste, environmentally friendly fun, virtual reality, and peer pressure. Each unit is designed to apply topics like these to the lives of young teens and capture their attention with amazing photos, videos, animations, and stories about explorers and other teenagers around the world. Young teens are ready to explore themselves as well as our complex world with your guidance. The units in Impact will give you everything you need to encourage this exploration. Instead of seeing the characteristics of young teens as challenges, you will begin to see them as opportunities to help your students learn English.